Hey, what's up guys? It's Pedro here from NoobCoder.com, and in this tutorial I want to talk about loops, particularly the for loop. Now what the loop allows us, or what loops in general allows us to do, is repeat blocks of code. So let's say I want to print out hello, but I don't just want to print this out one time. I want to print this out 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. I'm done. Hit the run button. We get hello 5 times. Now this is manageable. It's a bit ugly, but it's still manageable. But what happens if I have to repeat something 1,000 times? Well, I'm not going to copy and paste this 1,000 times. So one way we could get rid of this is using a for loop. So the way that syntax of a for loop goes is, let me get some space first. I say for parentheses, and now I need to declare a variable and I need to initialize a value for it. So I'm going to say int I is assigned the value 0. And now I need a condition that evaluates the true or false. So I'll say while I is less than 5. And then I need to increment or decrement depending on what you want to do. In this case, I want to increment. So we just use post incrementation of I. I can hit the tab just to make sure that it's readable. So I know that this line of code is for the for statement. And then I can hit the run button. And you see we get the same exact thing. So what's really going on here? Okay. So first I need to initialize a variable. Already declare that. This is the condition that needs to be met in order for this code to execute. And this is what I do after the code is executed. So first I is 0. Is 0 less than 5? Yes. Execute this code. Then I go here, increment I. I is now 1. Is 1 less than 5? Yes. Execute this code. Increment I again. I is 2. Is 2 less than 5? Yes. Execute this code, increment I, and you keep going until this is no longer true. So in case you didn't get that, let us make it more clear. So let's make a better print statement. So I can say I has the value of, and now I can actually print out I and use it as a regular variable because that's what I is, a variable. So I can just say I, and let's put these double quotes here to make it look prettier. Let's run this, and you see when our loop is executing, this is what's going on internally. I has the value of 0. It's our starting point. And then it executes this code. So I has the value of 0. Increment I. I is now 1. Is 1 true? And then etc. So that's what's happening internally. And the same rules apply for the conditionals. If you want more than one line of code, so for this case, we don't need the braces. But if we want more than one line of code, we have to add the braces. And now I can just do another line of code and I could say hello. Control S to save, run it. So you see it gets executed. I has a value of 0, hello. I has a value of 1, hello. So you see that it prints out 5 times. Now one thing you might be asking yourself is, if I want to print that out 5 times, why am I starting at 0? And that's because in the upcoming tutorials, we're going to talk about arrays, and they start at position 0, because usually you would start counting at 1, right? Well, most people will start counting at 1 if you ask them where do you start to count. But for the purposes of programming, arrays is a data structure, and they start at position 0. So I want you to get used to starting at position 0. So that pretty much wraps up this tutorial, and I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Like, comment, subscribe.